I feel my breath thinning. My blood does not belong to me anymore. Soon, neither will my soul. Do you know what it means to be unmade for Him? Do you dare witness the silence where a human heart used to be? Are you ready to hear what it feels like to be given to the golden throne? Then step closer, and do not look away when I begin to burn. The chains bite into my wrists. Cold iron, heavy, unforgiving. I stumble forward. Bare feet scrape against the stone. Each step echoes, sharp and hollow. Inside the cathedral's cavernous heart, incense burns thick in the air. Sweet, suffocating, it clings to the back of my throat. My lungs ache with each breath, yet I dare not cough. Chants rise from the cloaked congregation. Low, endless, a drone of devotion. The words blur together, a tide of sound that drowns my thoughts. I cannot tell if they pray for me or for themselves. The floor beneath me is ice cold, worn smooth by centuries of other sacrifices. My toes trace the grooves where thousands have walked before me, only to vanish in fire and light. A custodian stands at the altar's edge, golden, immense. His armor gleams in the torchlight. Though his face is hidden, he does not look at me. He does not need to. I am already nothing. The priests press closer. Their hands are skeletal, their robes heavy with dust. They whisper litanies as they bind my chains to the pillar before the altar. Their touch is rough, hurried, as though I am a burden they wish to be rid of quickly. Fear blooms in my chest, sharp and wild. I force it down. Devotion must hide terror. That is the creed. That is survival. But the air hums. The throne calls. A pressure behind my eyes, inside my skull. Like invisible hands clawing through my mind. I taste copper. Blood trickles down my tongue where I've bitten it. Still, I stand. Still, I bow my head. The chanting swells. The incense thickens. The chains tighten as though alive. The custodian raises his spear. Light bends around its edge. My knees buckle. My body trembles. My soul strains as though it knows what comes. The pillar shakes. The world narrows. And then, I feel him, the Emperor, vast, endless, hunger without end. My thoughts tear apart. My memories shred like paper in fire. Every prayer, every breath, every sin is pulled from me, devoured by his will. I scream without sound. My voice is gone before it leaves me. The light burns, white, poor, agony, bliss, terror, worship, all as one. I am unmade, I am offering, I am nothing. And still, he hungers. The light swallows me whole, no edges, no shadows, only fire. My veins ignite. Blood becomes flame, rushing, searing, boiling inside me. I feel it spill through my skin though nothing drips. Nothing escapes. Bones quake, splinter, shudder. Every joint bends beneath an unseen weight. A pressure older than worlds. It crushes, yet it pulls, breaking me apart and drawing me closer. I try to breathe. There is no air. The silence is suffocating, not empty, not still. It is a silence that roars, louder than any war engine, louder than death itself. The warp presses against me. I know it by instinct. A sea of screaming souls, yet I hear nothing, only silence. Deafening, smothering. My eyes, I cannot close them. I cannot blink. They burn wide open, staring at nothing but endless gold. The throne's light, the Emperor's gaze. My mind unravels. Memories scatter like ash in a storm. Faces dissolve. Names crumble. Even my own. Something claws deeper. Not flesh, not bone. It rakes across the soul, tears it, feeds. Devours. I am falling and rising and being pulled apart in every direction at once. The priest's chants are gone. The cathedral is gone. Even my chains are gone. There is only him, his hunger, his will. And still he pulls. Still he takes. As if I am infinite, though I am nothing. The next revelation comes, jagged and sharp. I realize I am not alone. Millions scream in the silence with me. Countless voices, countless offerings, all torn, all burning, all consumed. And I am just the next. They are inside me. The millions. Their screams pour through my veins of fire. Each voice collides with mine. Each memory claws at my own. I feel their deaths as if they were my own countless times before. My skin is gone. Not torn, not burned, simply erased. I am raw nerve, raw thought, raw terror. The silence deepens, so loud it grinds against my bones. I feel them splinter, crack. Each fracture echoes inside my skull. I try to move. I have no limbs. I try to cry. I have no mouth, only the golden sea. Only the hunger that strips me thread by thread. Something presses harder. It squeezes at what is left of me. Not body, not soul, the space between. I shatter. Fragments of myself scatter into the warp. Each shard of me screams a different scream. Each shard sees a different horror. I glimpse shadows moving in the silence. Great shapes. Vast. Watching. Warp things bound by his will. They circle the throne like predators held on a chain. And then I feel it. The chain trembles. The leash strains. For a moment, their eyes find me. They know me. They want me, and the throne lets them see. Their gaze pierces me. Eyes without shape, mouths without flesh. The chain things circle closer. Not with steps, not with wings. They move like thoughts, tearing through the silence. My fragments burn brighter beneath their stare. Each piece of me writhes. Each piece tries to flee. There is nowhere to run. The fire in my veins roars louder. It is no longer blood. It is liquid light, forced to spill through what little I still am. My bones quake though I have none. Phantom ribs snap. Phantom spine bends. Pain that should end only multiplies. The silence crushes harder. It screams without sound. It deafens without noise. The warp itself presses into me, grinding me smaller, thinner, less. I feel teeth, not in flesh, in thought. They bite into what I remember, chew through memories as if they were marrow. Mother's face. Gun. My first prayer. Gun. The sound of my own name. Gon. Each bite leaves me lighter. Each bite leaves me hollower. The things laugh without laughing. It rattles through my fragments. They savor me, though I am nothing. And still, the Emperor pulls. Still, his hunger dwarfs theirs. His light drags me deeper, tearing me from their grasp, burning even the shadow of what I was. I fall further into him. No body, no soul, only ash in the tide. And then, the next revelation tears through me. I feel his thoughts, not words, not voice, but the endless weight of what he knows. A galaxy, a war without end, and I am swallowed inside it. The galaxy opens inside me, not before my eyes, inside. A million suns burn in my chest. A billion screams churn in my skull. Worlds rise and fall with every breath I do not take. Armies clash in the hollow where my heart once was. Every death is mine. Every wound is mine. Every prayer is mine. The fire in my veins spreads wider. It is not fire now. It is starlight, molten and merciless. It scorches until nothing remains but raw thought. Bones I no longer own shudder under the strain. I feel them snap in echoes, endlessly. Each break reverberates across the silence, louder than thunder. The silence grows. It smothers. It drowns the stars themselves. Warp and void merge into one endless, suffocating hush. My fragments twist within it. Some still scream. Some still burn, but most are simply gone. I sink deeper. Into him. Into the throne. And then I feel it. The truth. A weight heavier than death. He does not see me. He never did. I am dust upon the storm of his thought. I am less than nothing to him. Yet still he feeds. Still he takes. Because he must. The revelation crushes harder than chains. I am not chosen. I am not holy. I am fuel. The silence answers with finality, and in that silence, something else stirs. Not him, not the chained things, something deeper, something waiting. It moves beneath the light, not seen, felt, known. A cold that is older than the throne. It tastes of empty space, of first dark, of a time before names. My fragments shiver. They answer it like a bell, a resonance that is not music. The Emperor's hunger recedes a fraction. not out of mercy, but curiosity. The chained things fall silent. Even their thought steps hold. Something else has touched the tide. My fire gutters, not dying, changing. The flames turn thin and blue. Blood becomes ice, then glass, then a clear, ringing note inside my skull. Bones that never were clatter like frozen ribs. They vibrate with that note. Each crack a word I cannot understand. The silence bends. It shapes itself into a listening. A patient listening. I feel memories stir. Not mine. Older than my mother's mother. A scent of salt, of stone, of a horizon that never ends. The presence breathes, not air. Intention. It inhales whole constellations. It knows names I cannot hold. It remembers faces no face has worn. It catalogs loss like a library. For a heartbeat I am remembered. Not as offering, not as fuel, as something that once was whole. Hope flares and dies like a moth. The throne's light claws back, but the other thing does not retreat. It tastes the edges of me with ancient patience. Then the revelation comes, simple and terrible. I am not only fuel. I am not only sacrifice. I am an echo, and echoes have voices of their own. The echo shakes inside me. Not sound, not thought. A vibration of what I once was. It rattles through the glass of my veins, through the fire of my marrow, through the hollow where my heart has burned away. The silence shatters, just a crack, enough for me to feel it, enough for me to answer. I do not speak. I cannot. But the echo pushes outward, a ripple against the golden tide. The throne resists. It pulls harder. Chains of light tighten, grinding me into dust. My fragments scream. Some beg for release. Others claw to survive. But all are bound. The pressure grows unbearable. Bones quake though they are ash. Blood roars though it is fire. The silence presses, crushing, drowning. Yet the echo does not die. It spreads. It multiplies. Each fragment of me carries it forward. The chained things stir. They hear it. They lean closer. Vast shadows with endless hunger. But they do not bite. Not yet. The presence beneath the light waits. It watches. It listens. And then the revelation strikes like a blade. The echo is not mine alone. It belongs to all who burn before me. Every sacrifice leaves a mark. Every soul leaves a scar. Together, they are building, layer upon layer, whisper upon whisper, an ocean of echoes beneath the throne. And I have just joined them. The ocean rises to meet me. Not water, not flame. A tide of voices, raw and endless. They pour through me. Through the cracks of my glass veins, through the splintered cages of phantom bone. Each voice is jagged. Each carries its own ruin. Each leaves its wound inside me. I drown in them. Memories not mine burst behind my eyes. A child kneeling in ash. A soldier bleeding on alien stone. A pilgrim whispering prayers into a noose of chains. The fire of my blood flares hotter. It wreathes against the tide, a storm within the storm. The silence presses harder, as if to smother both flame and echo. But the ocean grows, layer upon layer of torment, sacrifices stacked into eternity. I cannot breathe. I cannot scream. I can only shake under the weight of them all. The throne pulls tighter. Its hunger rends us, one voice at a time. We unravel together, thread by thread. Still, something stirs beneath the tide. Something vast. Something buried in the marrow of a million deaths. The echoes twist. They begin to align, like bones setting into place after a long break. My own fragments quake with theirs, shaking, rattling, breaking, rebuilding. And then the revelation cuts through the silence. The echoes are not passive. They are not forgotten. They are watching. They are waiting. The sacrifices are gathering. The gathering presses in on me. An ocean folding inward. A tide with no shore. Their weight drags me deeper. Each echo clings to mine. Clawing, grasping, refusing to let go. My fire thrashes against them. It sears. It burns. But the tide does not break. It drinks the flame. It makes it theirs. My phantom bones quake. The pressure grinds them into dust. Yet in the dust, I feel more than myself. I feel them. Every fracture hums. Every shard vibrates. Together, they make a sound the silence cannot hold. It begins low, a tremor inside the marrow of nothing. Not chant, not prayer, a resistance. The throne pulls harder. Light claws deeper. Chains of gold shred the tide. But still it gathers. Still we gather. The silence buckles. It shrieks without sound. The warp ripples in jagged lines, black against gold. My fragments tear apart. My soul unravels thread by thread, yet each thread weaves into theirs. Not gone. Not lost. Changed. And then the revelation blooms, vast and blinding. We are not dying. We are becoming. The sacrifices are not erased. They are the foundation. The endless ocean beneath his throne. And the ocean is beginning to rise. The ocean swells. It drags me higher, though higher has no meaning here. It lifts me into a place between silence and scream. The fire in my blood is no longer mine. It is theirs. A shared inferno burning in 1,000 voices. Bones I do not own quake in unison. They rattle like drums beneath the tide. A rhythm forms, a pulse. The silence presses to smother it, a crushing hand of gold. But the tide will not drown. It seethes. It shudders. It sings. The song is not beautiful. It is jagged, broken. A hymn made of fractures and ash. Still it rises. Still it grows. The throne pulls with endless hunger. Its chains cut deeper, slicing echoes into ribbons. But ribbons weave back together. Stronger. Stranger. I feel it now. Something vast beneath the tide. A shape forming. Not one voice. Not many. All voices at once. My fragments tremble in awe. In terror. In belonging. The golden light flickers. For an instant, the silence fails. I hear us. Not whispers. Not screams. A single word spoken by millions of dead. We. The revelation crushes me like a collapsing star. The sacrifices are not only gathered, they are awakening. We. The word shakes through me. Through every thread, every fracture, every shred of what I was. It is not mine. It is not theirs. It is all of us. My blood fire answers without choice. It flares bright, searing, molten white. The tide drinks it whole, and still it burns. Bones shiver until they are nothing. Yet the shudder remains. An endless quake, as if the warp itself trembles with us. The silence presses harder, heavier, smothering, but cracks spread across it. Thin, jagged, splintering light leaks through. The throne strains. Chains groan. The hunger pulls, savage, endless. Yet now it devours with desperation. Because it feels what I feel. What we feel. We are not only fuel. We are not only offering. We are something greater. The fire in my veins no longer consumes. It forges. Thread by thread, shard by shard, a shape begins to form. Not body, not soul, something vast. The ocean rises around me, dragging me into its shape. Millions of fragments locked together like bone. A skeleton of sacrifice. A spine of the forgotten. And then the revelation strikes. The Emperor is not alone upon his throne. He never was. Every death, every offering, every soul given, we remain, we rise, we become his shadow. The shadow closes around me. Not outside, inside. It fills the hollow spaces where I once lived. My blood, fire bends to it. The flames are not mine now. They twist into black, gold arcs, searing but silent. Phantom bones grind under its weight. Each splinter drives deeper. Each fracture hums with voices not my own. The silence thickens. No longer empty. Now it listens. Now it fears. The throne pulls harder. Its hunger tears at us, gnaws at the ocean. But the ocean does not break. It swells. We rise higher. A tide of ash and light. A shape coalescing from ruin. I feel myself unravel further. Threads of me snap, stretched across the tide. Each one burns. Each one binds. I am less. I am more. The pressure is unbearable. Every thought is crushed. Every memory shattered. Yet still I remain. The shadow deepens. It presses its face against mine. A mirror made of screams. A reflection carved from endless death. I see myself, not as I was, as I have become. The revelation sears through me. The Emperor does not sit alone. His throne is shared. Every sacrifice is part of him. Every death builds his shadow. And now I am part of it too. The shadow pulls me deeper. I sink into it, yet it rises within me. There is no line between falling and filling. My blood, fire scatters. Each drop a star. Each star swallowed into the black, gold tide. Bones quake until they dissolve into dust. The dust does not vanish. It drifts. It joins the skeleton of echoes, the vast spine beneath the throne. The silence tightens. It presses, suffocates, smothers. But cracks multiply across it. The hush can no longer contain us. The throne's hunger rages. It rips. It devours. But what it takes, it cannot hold. Each shred it swallows bleeds back into the tide. I am unraveling, thread by thread, nerve by nerve. Every unraveling ties me tighter to the whole. The pressure grows unbearable. It feels as though I am stretched across galaxies. Every fracture sings. Every spark burns. And then I hear it. Not silence, not chant, a heartbeat. Slow, immense. It shakes the ocean of echoes. It rattles the bones of sacrifice. It shakes me. The revelation strikes, cold and merciless. The shadow is alive. It beats. It breathes. It waits. And I am inside it. The heartbeat swallows me. Each thud a quake in the marrow of what I am. Each pulse a hammer striking the threads of my soul. My blood, fire surges in rhythm. It lashes. It coils. No longer mine. It's... The tide claims every spark. My bones, long broken, now grind as one vast frame. A skeleton not of flesh, but of all who burned before me. I feel them locked together. A ribcage of screams, a spine of ash, a skull made of silence. The pressure climbs. It presses on every fragment. It shakes every nerve. It grinds thought into sparks, sparks into dust, dust into flame. The silence strains. It shatters in places, mending, shattering again. The warp presses in, hungry, restless. But it does not touch us. Not yet. The throne tears harder. It drags, it rips. It howls with invisible need. But for the first time, it does not take all. Something resists. Something holds. I am that resistance. We are that resistance. The heartbeat grows louder, faster. It no longer echoes. It commands. Every unraveling piece of me is bound into its rhythm. Every sacrifice before me pounds within the same pulse. We are one beat, one shadow, one truth. And then the revelation crashes through me like fire through glass. The heartbeat is not his. It is ours. The sacrifice is live. And together we are beginning to awaken. The awakening claws through me. It burns, sharper than fire, colder than void. My blood, fire thrashes in the rhythm. Each beat cracks me wider. Each crack spills light, molten and merciless. Bones I do not have rattle still. They shake under pressure vast as suns. The sound is endless, like a million ribs breaking at once. The silence fights back. It smothers. It crushes. It tries to drown the pulse in gold. But the heartbeat does not stop. It grows louder, faster, a drumbeat of defiance. My fragments scream, not in pain, in fury, in hunger, in unity. The throne claws deeper. Its hunger is frantic now, tearing, ripping, devouring in gulps. I feel him reaching, not with mercy, with desperation, but he cannot drink fast enough. The tide is too vast, the echo too loud. I unravel further. Every thread of me stretches, vibrating with the rhythm. I am no longer myself. I am pulse. I am shadow. I am legion. And then the revelation ignites, vast and blinding. The Emperor is not consuming us. We are consuming him. He burns on my tongue. Light, ash, blood, all at once. I taste him as he once tasted me. The fire in my veins turns black. It coils, writhes, feeds. Not fuel for his hunger, fuel for ours. My phantom bones quake harder. Each crack echoes through the tide. Each fracture spreads like lightning across the ocean of us. The silence collapses. It screams without sound. A sound so sharp it feels like knives dragging through thought. The throne writhes. Its golden chains thrash, cutting, searing. But the tide does not break. It swells. I feel his thoughts collide with mine. A flood of war. A flood of death. A galaxy crushed under a single will. And yet we bleed into it. We stain it. We drink it. We begin to wear his knowledge as our own. The heartbeat hammers faster. Not his. Ours. A defiance that grows stronger with each pulse. I unravel completely. I have no self, no name. I am thread in the fabric. I am beat in the drum. I am shadow in the fire. And the revelation scorches me whole. The Emperor does not sit upon his throne. He is bound to it. And the shadow we have become is the key. The mouth takes me. Cold older than any winter slides inside my bones. Light rips like silk. Thought peels away in ribbons. I eat the Emperor, and the Emperor eats me. Not whole, not clean, in pieces, in purposes. Fire in my veins becomes gears. My blood cools into glass teeth. My name is hammered into a link. I am unmade. I am remade. Both at once. The scream I tried to hold folds into a serviceable tone. It rings in the throne's marrow and answers orders I do not understand. It teaches prayers to doors. It teaches mercy to knives. Some part of me burns out like a candle. Some part of me is grafted to a machine of endless want. I feed. I function. I am fuel for his light. I am a key in his hand. My last private thought is catalogued and sold as doctrine. There is no mercy here. Only maintenance. Only appetite framed as reverence. They will ask for me with my own voice. They will open for me with my lullaby. They will smile before they die. I do not find peace. I find tasks, unending, devotional. Exact, my terror becomes instruction. My love becomes invitation. My death becomes a map. I am consumed. I am enslaved. I am taught to call for more. And when you hear a gentle knock at your door, know that the hand that wraps is mine, and that I will never stop asking.